Yo, Laurent, I hear you got a lot to
Hey,
say. I hear you got a lot to fucking say. I hear you got a
hey.
lot to say. So go ahead.
Well, first things first, I've had some outlandish predictions earlier this season. One of them being Centurions, this and that. Yeah. Listen, you guys are gonna need to be as cozy as you can because it's rough times. It's cold. It is cold time in that part of
Mm.
London. This time around. So by all means, you guys definitely deserve to bring out your blankets.
Hmm.
For those who don't know,
So
Laurent is a Chelsea fan, by the way, not a City
mhm.
fan. You wouldn't think so at the moment, but just to let you guys know, reminder.
Yeah, no, Chelsea at heart.
Where's your
Chelsea.
blanket, fan? Come join us. We're all in the mud right now. The London clubs are in the mud. Come join us.
Listen, I actually have my world champion blanket that's being ordered coming in, so I'm gonna
History
wait for that.
lessons.
At the same time as the Chelsea
I'm
kid
gonna wait for
coming
that.
in, did you go to
I'm gonna
the
wait.
Nike store on time this time? Was it open? Was it closed? Did you order
Listen,
from Temu? Because I don't think they sell preseason stuff, by the way.
listen. Again. I'm gonna
Oh,
have
I'm
you
listening
guys.
loud and clear. All I
Yeah,
hear is
you guys are gonna get
someone
my
who's
kit.
in the shambles. Yeah,
Are,
go ahead.
you're not in the shambles?
Nope.
Oh. Oh, so where you guys if you're not in the shambles? Tell me.
We're in first place and we're in the semifinals of the Champions League. Where are you at after spending $2 billion
Oh,
and cheating your way to
okay.
half of your trophies? Where are you guys right now?
Okay. No. So we
No,
we're
no,
in the
no, no,
mud.
no.
We're
Answer
in
the
the
question.
mud.
No, no.
No,
Answer
no.
the
I
question.
did
Where are you
answer.
guys?
I
No,
said
no.
we're in the mud. We're in the
You're
mud.
more than in the mud because you
We're
spent two
we're
billion and you need another 2 billion to fix
we're
that pathetic squad. That
we're
Fulham, Brentford, Bournemouth,
mhm,
even fucking West Ham are better than you.
mm, mm. Okay, listen. That's
The
all fair.
same exact team that
Mm,
got their fucking booties smacked by City
mm,
bent over and took it.
mm,
PG-13, fellas. Bent over and took
mm,
it. Bent over and took it from PSG. We didn't bend over for either of those teams. You bent over and
mm,
took it like you were a fucking mistress at the corner of Church Street.
mm,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
wait, wait,
That was
wait,
the
wait,
noise
wait,
you were
wait,
making when you were
wait,
getting
wait, wait,
pumped.
wait.
One, two,
Two,
three, four,
four, and
five,
a
six,
quadruple.
seven, eight. Hey, you got
Hey,
pumped 8 times. You
hey,
got pumped eight
hey.
times, and the only thing you got to walk away with is two slits in your eyebrows like fucking
Mm,
Garnacho.
Listen,
Mmm.
at the end
Jeez.
of all of that,
Mmm.
at the
Jeez.
end of
Mmm. At the
all
end
of
of all
that,
that, you still
right?
had to dye your hair blonde with bleach. How fucking pathetic, and you can't even hit the net? Oh my days. Don't
But
fucking come
at
for
the
the
end of all,
smoke,
at,
bro.
at the end of all of that, at the end
At
of
the
all
end
of
of all of
that,
that, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Go ahead, say it. Say it.
trophies.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
so by cheating, it's okay to get trophies. Okay, we know
Oh,
where you
it's always
stand.
it's always that. It's always that.
But
And you
is it
realize
not factual? Wait,
it's
were you was Chelsea not found factually cheating to get those trophies?
oh
Is that a fact or fiction?
oh
That is a big
oh.
fact.
Cry me a
Big
fucking river.
fact.
Cry
Big
me
fact.
a
F
river.
A C T.
I need you to cry me a
Fact.
river.
Well, if you want, I'll cry whatever
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want. I'll
yeah, yeah,
cry
yeah,
whatever you want.
yeah. And
The big
after the season,
fact.
look,
Wait,
you're.
after the season when you're playing Conference League?
Oh, listen,
Conference
our
League
ne-
again? Ole
our narrative,
ole.
right? Remember. You
Your
guys are the
narrative
star.
was that you're gonna be fucking
Wait.
Centurion. Shut the fuck up.
You
Mm.
Your
guys
narrative.
are the
No, 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 no,
star,
no.
and
Mute
Mm.
yourself. Mute
your narrative,
yourself. Your narrative at the beginning of the year was
and
that Chelsea Football Club was gonna be Centurion and Enzo Maresca was
I'll let
gonna
you go on your
be the
rant.
manager of the year. You
Mm.
need to zip it.
Let me know when
You
you're
can
done. Let me
speak.
know when
No,
you're
no.
done.
You can speak for the other fans, but your narrative in this
Let me
podcast
let me
was
know when
that
you're done.
Chelsea was gonna be fuck. I'll tell you when I'm done. You said
Okay.
Chelsea was gonna be Centurion. You are the biggest hypocrite in this podcast. And like you always say, these are all recorded, Laurent. You said, you said that Chelsea are going to be Centurion. I stood on my axe and I said Arsenal are going to win the league, and I'm still going to stand on that axe. Where the fuck is Chelsea in the middle of all this? Fighting
And
for
then
a fucking conference league spot after spending $2 billion?
mhm,
Get the fuck out of here. Don't even come for that.
It's getting
mhm,
hot in here, bro.
mhm.
Jeez.
Don't even come for that shit. And
Listen.
yes, now
listen,
I passed the torch.
again, everything that you've said, I am not even denying. We are in the mud. We are in the trenches. But that is where the warriors are born. And that is what we will rise from the ashes and come back stronger than ever. You guys, on the other hand, I mean, listen,
See you in
you're la-
2035, bro.
you're laughing now, but it wasn't so funny at come full-time whistle, was it? Right?
That's
For
probably
who?
the
For
best
Chelsea
before.
or for Arsenal? Or both?
No, no,
Like I
no.
said,
I
bro,
mean,
we're all in this together, bro. Grab your
no, no,
blanket.
no. Hold on, hold on, hold
We're
on, hold
here,
on,
bro.
hold on, hold on. No, listen, you had your go. You had it. Listen,
Oh, sorry, sorry.
no,
You're right. You're
no
right.
one is denying that Chelsea is where they're at. We are accepting that. No one is that. You can see it. You can scream it. You can say it in different languages. No one is going to deny that. Chelsea are in the mud. Chelsea have shot themselves in the foot. But again, the narrative for this league, it is not going to be that. I can tell you that much.
You want to bet?
A hundred
You
percent.
want to bet in the off
A
season?
hundred percent.
The
No, no, no.
narrative's
Wait,
already coming out.
the main narrative for this league, what we are all going to remember if this happens, is you guys, right? You
Sure.
you want to talk about bending over backwards, bro. You guys bent over for. I think it's gonna be the fourth season now that you guys had your ass crack showing, right? The fourth season, back to back to back to back. First time in history that this is
Second
gonna
time.
happen.
Oh wait,
No, no, no.
actually,
First time in history,
sure, not a
right?
problem.
You guys went from chanting quadruple, then to triple, then to double, and now to trouble. Oh my gosh, where are we going next? Where are we going
CJ, you
next?
would think this guy has social media. He says he never goes on social media. This
Where?
is
Oh, I'll tell you, yo, for anything that is anti-Arsenal, yeah, I have my notifications coming right in, bro. Listen, I even have my Man U fans coming to me, send me the scoops, man. So listen, I'm plugged in. When it comes, I told you, this is today. Football won. The football world won.
football world one.
We were all united. We are we are all united as one.
Wait, so let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
End of the season comes. Man City wins. 2 weeks later, the 115 comes out. Did the footballing world really win?
1,000%. And I'll tell you why. Because what I saw today, what everyone saw today, was gracious display of ability, of tactics, of prowess from the managers down to the players, of not anti-football, but actual football, of players not looking to complain, to get calls, of players who are using.
Wow.
You say wow, but my gosh,
Wow.
how
This is
much?
the same city that has Bernardo Silva that ran through a Dan Burn and he got nothing. This is the same city that said that the refs are against them.
We're talking about
No
this
no no
game. We're
no no
talking
no
about
no
this
no.
game, brother.
This
We're talking about this
even
game. They
even
didn't.
this game.
This game
You're saying that they
they played my guy. I'm telling you, this game that team played. You guys, on the other hand, oh, the theatrics. You guys come here for drama. That's what you guys come in. You step on the pitch, right?
Yeah, I swear
Right?
you have
Right?
tunnel
Right?
vision when it comes to that. Because I've said
Right?
this before. You act like Arsenal's the only team with theatrics. When you forget that the club that you even support, not too long ago,
You
Cucurella is in the next Barbie movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, brother, what are we doing here? Stop
João
acting like Arsenal is
Pedro,
the only theatrical
Enzo,
club. They're not.
listen, listen,
You're
listen.
just you're narrow-minded and you have tunnel vision.
Reece James.
There's I call my guys out. I definitely call my guys out when the theatrics are done because personally I don't like to see that. The one thing I will say, and again I will keep calling it out because to me it is disgusting. It makes me wanna when I see, and even my gosh, you guys should have got a red card, by the way.
So
I don't know
Arsenal's
if
the
you
only one
guys
that does this, the dark arts, the theatrics. Like Arsenal's the
to
only
a cer-
football club that does it.
to the again to the extent of and funny enough, who did you guys play last round in the Champions League? Was it did
Sporting.
you guys play Sporting? Yeah, it was Sporting. Um, even the I think there's no, not I think I saw the interview, but I forgot what the player's name was when he was asked about the game. And again, right? You guys purposefully looking to slow down the game with wasting time, doing all of this,
I
doing
say it
all of
again. Is
that.
Arsenal the only club in history to have ever done this? Are we the
Wait, hold
pioneers
on,
for this
wait,
sort of
Laurent.
thing? Like, this is what I don't
To the
CJ,
understand.
extent,
Come on, bro.
to
We're
the
not
CJ,
doing that.
let
extent,
me make him sound
to
real stupid
the
real quick. Laurent, hold
to
on.
the
Let me
extent.
ask you a
My guy,
question.
there are
Are you a
stats for you guys.
professional
There are,
football player? Answer the question. Are you a professional football player?
you know the
No.
answer to
But
that.
I want to
No,
know
but
the answer for the fans. Okay,
you
so
know
you're
the answer
not.
to
So you're
that.
not one. Did you
No,
listen to Kyle Walker's interview?
what do you say?
No, but yes or no? Did you listen to his interview?
If I'm asking you what he said, I did clearly
Okay,
I
so you
didn't.
didn't listen to it. Kyle Walker in an interview literally said the same Kyle Walker that's been with CJ probably knows exactly what I'm talking about. The same Kyle Walker that was in those city teams that did the dark arts to try to get past Real Madrid one, two, three times. They couldn't beat Chelsea. They took them so many tries to try to win the Champions League. He himself even said the media against Arsenal is not fair because it's part of the game. So you're saying that what Newcastle does, it's completely okay. What Sunderland does, what
Of
Chelsea
course
does.
not. Of course not. Of course not. But the
Okay,
one thing,
so then
but
why is the
I,
narrative? Because you're saying, oh, they do it so much. It
of
is
course,
it part
bro.
of the game? But is it part of the game? As someone who plays soccer, when you guys lost in the
My guy,
final, when I came to watch you guys, and the team that you guys were facing, they were wasting time. Is that not part of the game?
my guy, a lot of things are part of the game.
Okay, so there you
You know,
go. Conversation done. Conversation
no.
done.
It's not conversation done. Just because something is part of a game, there are certain etiquette, there are certain rules. You see what I'm saying? That you're looking at me like that, but think about it. When Neymar, right? There's a reason why when Neymar was doing his rainbow flicks over a player's head, that is part of the game. But his own team. I'm not talking about the opposition team. His own team and his coach reprimanded him for that. Why? Because they find it to be a sign of disrespect. And then La
Oh,
Liga,
but no one's reprimanding
hold on,
Turkey to when he does that shit.
hold
No one
on,
reprimanded Holland to say stay humble,
hold
but you're
on.
coming to
No,
his
no, no,
defense.
no. But my point is with this that just because something is part of the game, right? There are still certain etiquettes that I can pass back to my keeper 100 times. It's part of the game. But right, what does that look like? You see what I'm saying? If I'm doing that, if I'm me and my
No,
keeper
I
just
don't get
having
it. I don't get what you're trying to say. It's part of the game.
no, I
Everyone
mean,
does it to a certain extent.
you do get what I'm trying to say.
No,
Do,
because I think what
you do.
CJ is
Again,
saying is true.
I'm
You're hypercritical of a discussion that's been brought up by rival fans for no reason. The only reason they brought it up is because they have nothing else against Arsenal, and that's the only thing that they brought up.
oh
And
my
now that
gosh, man.
there is a slip, now this conversation is going to be, did Arsenal bottle it for the past 3 years? No, we did not, because we were never this far ahead, nor did we have the opportunity to go ahead by 12, 15, 19 points in December that we bottled. If we lose it this year, which I'm standing here today, we're recording on April 19th, that we will not bottle it and we are going to win. And when we win, I expect you to shut your mouth on that episode when we come to celebrate,
Listen, you don't even
because
believe that. You
I
don't. No, no, you
100%
don't.
believe
No, you
it.
don't. No,
I
you don't. No,
100%
you don't.
believe it.
No, you
I
don't.
want
You've
what
come.
was my preseason prediction?
You've
Remind me.
come. You've come on the WhatsApp
What was
groups.
my
You want me
what
to?
was my
Okay, wait,
preseason
hold on, hold
prediction?
on. You just want me to read you your WhatsApp messages from last week? You just want me to do that?
Sure, you can read whatever you want. You can read
Yeah,
whatever you want.
right. Because
You can read whatever you
that's
want.
right. So you don't believe that. You don't believe that
I
because
do believe that.
you
I
come on
do
a
believe
WhatsApp and
that.
be like, it's over, we're done, this and that, right? Right? Those are your words, not mine. No one's
Yeah, of
fabricating it.
course. Sure,
All
not a
right.
problem.
So you don't
But
believe
watching
that.
that performance today and watching the way the lineup that Arteta put out is something that I did not expect to see.
Again, talking about the performances, how you guys, what you guys do? What you guys do? Right? Talk to me about the like.
Oh,
Let's
come
go
You're
on,
straight
you're
into
bro.
it.
talking about you're
Wait.
talking about a wait, hold on. You're talking to you're
What?
I've
No.
actually never met someone that is so
What
thick-headed.
what did you see this game that has you convinced? That's what I want to know. What did you see this game
A
that has you
complete
convinced?
change in tactics and approach. You're talking about a lucky bounce that Holland gets the ball in a position that it's 9 out of 10 times any player will score from there. You're talking about that 1% thing that did it different. Like Arteta said, it's fine margins. We had
Wait,
5 or 6 chances to score, and the fine margins was that they did not finish, and they got a lucky bounce, and that was the difference maker. And you're talking about that
lucky
all of a sudden.
lucky bounce? That's what you credit that game to, a lucky bounce.
Yes, Holland's goal went to him on a lucky bounce. The finish was
All
the
right.
finish, but that pass
You know
to
what?
him was a lucky bounce.
Again, right? I think you do a huge disfavor, one, on just even analyzing everything that came before that goal. Everything that accumulated, like even all the data points that accumulated that led to that goal. You are just
What
disregarding
data
that.
points? What data points?
The penetration, the touches in the box, the you can even assess even the psychological pressure that was put on you guys on the offense, on the defensive end, the
This,
mistakes that they caused you to make,
see,
the
this is where I'm going to
your
interject, though.
your inability to play out when you guys had the ball. Do you know how many times you lost it in
This,
possession,
this
in
is the,
transition?
this is
Wait,
where I'm going
wait,
to
hold on.
interject.
Wait. Do you know how
Okay,
many
go.
times you've lost the ball in possession, right? When trying to go forward. I'm
No,
asking you a
because I
question.
don't. No, because I don't
Oh
care.
no, yeah, because you're blind to that, right? You're not trying to assess that.
Laurent,
You're not
you're talking from a point of view that you're a fucking Chelsea fan that got you
it's
like
nope, nope.
I'm not gonna hear
It
it
is
from you. I'm not
it
gonna hear it from you
it's
because you
not
guys
even from that.
rolled over. You
It's
guys
not
didn't even
nope.
compete. You're
Again,
telling me about how to play from the back. Did you
again,
beat us this year?
bro, that has
Did you beat
no
us? It has
relevance to
everything. Did you beat us
it
this
has
year?
no bro, it
Sit in
has
your
no
seat.
relevance to
Sit
the
in your
assessment
seat.
of this game.
It 100% does
It has
because you,
no
as a Chelsea
relevance to
fan,
the
saying
assessment
that
of this
Arsenal
game.
couldn't play through the back, playing against a
These are
team that's
factual
won it
things.
4 times in a row, you guys couldn't do shit after spending $2 billion.
Again, that
So
has
I'm
no
not. There's
relevance,
nothing.
and
There
it
is a
has
complete
no
relevance.
relevance to
You're
the
just trying
assessment
to
of this
shift the
game.
topic to whatever that suits your little gray box. Because I don't
The
want to hear
fact of
your
the
little
matter
gray
is,
box.
the fact of
I
the
want
matter
to hear
is, you
what
guys got
CJ has to
outplayed.
say.
The fact of the matter is, you guys got outplayed. You guys
We
got
did not get
outclassed.
played.
You
We
guys
did
got
not get outplayed.
outplayed,
We did not get outplayed.
outplayed, and realize
This game we did not get outplayed.
the only goal you guys scored was due to an error from the back. Mind you, you got to credit Havertz for even being on top of that. That's his job as a striker, so you have to give him credit. But that right, and I think the Eze shot that he managed to get, like the snapshot, um, he got that hit the post. But apart from that, and then if you want to even put in through in
The
the Havertz,
The Havertz chance
Havertz,
at the very end,
but again,
the
but again,
Martinelli chance. But again, we're just gonna bypass all those things because it doesn't
no, we're not
fit your
bypass.
gray box
You do
and your
realize,
narrative.
you realize that, right? Me mentioning that is not bypassing, right? I'm actually acknowledging that that's what happened in the game, right? Whereas you, on the other hand, when it's the other side of the coin, right? When it doesn't fit your confirmation bias, you do not want to
There's no
regard.
confirmation. It's a
Oh,
fact. It's a fact
the fact is, you guys got
that
dealt with
we did being dealt
offensively,
I
with is
disagree, though.
3-0.
I
defensively.
disagree. I disagree with that, Laurent.
We did
Heavily.
not get you guys have been getting dealt with all season.
My guy, you have to stop doing that, right?
You
We're
guys
talking
got
about
dealt.
this game.
Yes,
You see,
but
no,
again,
no. So
but I
be
don't want to hear it from
analytical.
someone who hasn't
Be,
even been in the same seat with us
that
this
has
season. We're talking about
that
this season,
has
right?
that
Talking about this
has
season.
no the analysis of this game, right? Right. The analysis of this game and Chelsea's position in the table has no
Hmm.
relevance. I hope you understand that, right?
Oh,
That you can analyze.
100% it
All right.
does.
So no, no, it does not, because you can analyze the game objectively speaking, right? Still being in sixth, seventh place, right? That's
Wait,
my
but you're
point.
being objective. Okay, let's hear what CJ has to say because this is a wild start to episode 100. Um, as you guys can tell, this is gut punch is the simplest way to put it. Title race is going to come down to the last 5 games or so. But as always, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're here for more banter. We're here for more, arguments. But CJ, I know you wanted to intervene and you wanted to give your point. So enough of Laurent and I. What were you going to share with the viewers and listeners?
No, I mean, and again, agreed. Welcome back, people. Yes, we're here. Episode 100 started quite fiery, as you know, and it's of course it's going to continue throughout the episode. So I hope you guys enjoy what you have to hear. Analysis along with a bit of friendly fire. Um, but yeah, just jumping back in on like some of the points that Laurent, you were talking about, like there's a couple things with that. I don't agree at all that like the conversation and the narrative around we got dealt with. I don't agree with that at all. And Today was the opposite of the haram ball that Arsenal tend to play, usually that we've seen all season. And whilst we're going to get into all of the what this means big picture, but this game in isolation, right? First of all, this isn't the game that lost us the title, and that's not where we're going with this. We've dropped points prior to this game, and that's where my frustration comes in, right? What I'm even more pissed off about is that we actually showed something today, right, compared to the Bournemouths of the world or the other games where we recently dropped points. It's like, where was this performance against those teams? But now we're stepping it up when it matters because this is a big game and it's Man City, but it's almost going to seem like too little, too late to me, right? Like just to turn up and perform. And I actually thought I can say to a certain extent that I'm happier with this performance than I was when we lost to the Bournemouth, for example, or when we, drew against Sporting Lisbon, or when we played Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League, or when we played Southampton. Like this was actually we showed more in this game, and that's all you want as a fan sometimes, right? Is if you're gonna lose games, you make sure you bow out trying, right? And the narrative around the fact that we got dealt with in this game is just not true. It was not a case of Arsenal sitting back, camping out on the edge of their own box, playing that haram ball, that ugly football that people are talking about, or Laurent that you're talking about. We didn't do that. And prior to the goal, you're talking about like prior to Holland's goal, as if that was always coming. But this it's not the same as the Carabao Cup final. Yes, the Carabao Cup final, you can see we were going to concede from a mile away, right? Watching that
Yeah.
whole second half, you knew that goal was coming. In this one, I completely disagree with the notion that that goal was coming because prior to that, we should have gone up 2-1, right? If we're doing actual fact checking and the chances that Arsenal had, I know you started crediting us for the chances that we had in the end, but look at the chances that we did have, right? And obviously they had their chances too. Kai Havertz has a one-on-one, right? We broke, I think, 3 or 4 on 1, and we're just horrible in transition. We've been horrible in transition for a long time. We break 3-on-1, 4-on-1. Odegaard gets the ball through Eze in out wide. Eze gives the ball into Odegaard through midfield. Odegaard drives through midfield. He has options to go right or left. He chooses Havertz, and then Havertz fluffs it right at the keeper. Not for the first time we've seen from Havertz, right? Fluffing a big chance in a big game, right? That
Hmm.
was the first of the big chances. Then Eze's chance, obviously, the left-footed curler that he's extremely unlucky with that hits the post. Gabriel also hit, so sorry, those two were before the goal, before Holland's goal. And then obviously after that we see Gabriel. We didn't mention this one as well. Gabriel hits the post from a corner kick. I don't know if you guys
Yep.
remember that one.
Hmm.
Gabriel hits the post from a corner kick, but I believe it was 2-1 City at that time. And then obviously the big one at the end with Kai Havertz, right? The header that goes over the bar in the 90th minute. So that's about 4 or 5 chances right there that I named. And obviously City had their chances. They hit the post in the first half, right? Ryan Turkey obviously scored in the first half. Holland takes his goal. They had chances as well, right? But they were more clinical with theirs than we were with ours. And that's the difference between the two sides generally. They're more potent, they're more clinical, they have more potency in their attack. But for us, it wasn't for a want of trying. We had our chances. So I completely disagree with anybody who will try and shut us down in this game in terms of our performance because we actually created chances for ourselves in this game, and we should have gone 2-1 up before City went 2-1 up.
Hmm.
Can I chime on that?
Yeah,
All right. So first off, your first big chance that you're mentioning here, the one where Odegaard got it in midfield, right? And then
played it to Kai
he
Havertz.
right. Yes, that stems from Guehi's error, right? Trying to penetrate the midfield, and he got pickpocketed, correct? That was Mark
Sure.
Guehi, right?
Okay.
You got pickpocketed in the midfield, and at that point, you guys had a numerical advantage due to that, right? The credit to you, right? It's a good press, okay? And essentially, yeah, you guys don't manage to convert that. But there is no way in hell, CJ, bro. There is no way in hell you're gonna convince anyone, right? And mind you, right? Do you guys know what you guys average usually? I mean, in terms of possession play. No, and I'm
So
asking you, like, or pass completions, like what your numbers usually are,
generally, you're talking about this game.
generally.
No, do you have it there? Is that why you're asking?
Yeah, yeah, I'm asking you because you guys are usually right in the high 80s,
Okay.
in
Correct.
very high 80s, or even in the 90s. Okay. Now,
Hmm.
what do you think it was this game?
40.
No, 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 no. Your actually, yeah, your possession was 40%, but your pass accuracy. What was your pass accuracy?
Probably like 80.
Right, 80%. Bro, that dropped by a factor of 10% from what you
Okay.
guys usually are.
Okay, naturally, because you're playing
No, no, no.
a really
It,
good team.
it
You
get,
know what I mean?
no one's denying that. No one's
They're not
denying
playing
that.
Burnley at home, bro.
No,
Of
no,
course.
no, 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 no. But even in those other games, when you guys face decent teams, right, or good teams, you guys still manage, right? And mind you, a pass accuracy of 80% for teams suited to your style of play is not good, right? If we're being real, it is not good. It is below par, below the standard of what it should be. Now,
Okay, continue. Where are we going with this?
my point is, my point is this: that throughout the game, apart from those small spells that you guys, and obviously towards the end, you guys put a bit of the pedal to the metal, and you guys allowed yourself to create those chances. But by then, it was pretty much too late, right? All your highlights of the games that you guys are talking about came in late in the second
No,
half.
bro. No, no, no. Bro, talk about the two chances that I just
Oh.
admitted that we could have gone 2-1 up before they went 2-1 up. The one-on-one and the
Bro, that
Havertz.
was second half.
No, it
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
wasn't.
yeah. The Havertz one-on-one. Yes, it was
It
Yeah,
was
second
that was
half.
second half.
When
Yeah,
it was
second half.
1-1.
one.
When it was
There was one
1-1.
in the first half too.
What was it? The one in the first half?
The one I think CJ, the one you're talking about is the Odegaard to Havertz.
The one I was referring to was in the second half. But the
Yeah,
one
it
in the
was in the
first
second
half,
half. Yeah, bro, everything came in the second half. And it came to the point where there was um like I don't know if there was a spell before Haaland scored the second one, right?
Mhm.
But your majority of your pressure came in because you guys realized we're down and we have to fucking score to tie the game, and that's where that came in. All
Wait,
those
are you talking about
chances.
the Havertz equalizer?
Uh
Are you talking about the Havertz equalizer?
no, the Havertz equalizer, but that was 1 minute after they scored in the first half. No.
Right. So what I'm
Yes.
saying is this: how are you saying that all our chances came? So you're basically saying all our chances came
Bro,
when we
you
were
can't.
2-1
Okay,
down.
hold on, hold on,
That's
hold on,
not
hold on,
true.
hold on, hold on. Even okay, if we're being genuine here, like I said, I don't discredit what Havertz had to do. Okay, but we can't even count that. Yes, he scored from there, but you cannot count that as a chance per
No,
se.
what I'm
You see what I'm
asking you
saying?
is what I'm telling you is this: like the two chances in the second half. The one that you're talking about where Mark he made a mistake, whatever, we pressed and we broke.
Yes, yes, that was
That
all in
so
the second
that,
half,
yes,
and that was
that was when it was 1-1.
yes, but I'm still saying
So
it
that's
was.
one of two. And the second big chance that I'm talking
Mhm,
about when it
mhm,
was 1-1 was the Eze one, where he fashioned that for himself,
mhm.
hits the post. So
And
both of
what
those
was
two, it was 1-1
okay?
at that time.
Yes,
In both
yes,
of those
yes.
instances. So we could have gone 2-1 up twice. That's what I'm saying. We could have
Mhm.
taken the lead twice, but from two very clear cut, the high GA opportunities
Okay.
before they scored their second. So that's what I mean. It kind of not Holland's goal came against the run of play, but it definitely wasn't like, oh, this was always coming. Like, bro, we could have gone 2-1 up twice in those two
Okay, wait,
instances.
wait. But then hold on. Okay, so again, right? Because I'm still there on the passing accuracy stat. I haven't moved from there, right? They had 88%, right? And if you watch the phases of the game, okay, even when you guys, and I'd have to check what the stat is on that, what how much time it took for them to recover the ball when they lost it. But I guarantee that the difference between yours and theirs was quite substantial because for the most part, there were phases in the game where every time you guys got the ball from them, you would lose it right after. You would lose it. Either there's an offside, there's a loose pass, your players don't know where to move, right? Like, are we going to agree on that? On that much?
But I don't
That
for this. This is what I don't
bro,
understand
come on,
because
we're watching the same
possession
game,
doesn't
bro.
mean anything unless you do
No, no,
something with
no,
the possession. Like I'm fine with
bro.
them having more possession, but if we create clear
Wait,
cut chances and they
hold on,
don't, what does
hold on,
possession matter?
no. But the important part is right because a team that is in control of the game, right? Of the game, of the flow of the game, even of the essence of the game, of being able to, you have the ball, you're able to pass, right? Your players are moving, um, you're creating overload situations, all of that, all of those aspects, right? A team that can do that, like you guys were doing it towards the end of the phase of the game, right? Is a team that is highly likelier to put themselves in positions to score, especially right if they have the willingness to make passes in the attack, right? So it's not just sideway passing. You see what I'm saying?
Can
Okay,
So
I
it's
can I just
so
can I just debunk everything you're saying for a second? Can I just debunk everything you're saying for a second?
All right.
So
So
you said
what are you gonna
you
pinpoint?
said you said you said our you said our possession was 40%, right? For this game?
Yeah, as per what 41. I'm going
Okay,
off Google.
okay, and then what was our passing accuracy?
I'm seeing here 80% off Google
And
as
how
well.
many shots do we have?
Shots 8 and 2 on
Each
target.
two. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. In September, this same City team that came to the Emirates, okay, how high do you think their possession was?
But in September,
Yes.
I mean, I like if I were to guess, I don't know how that game went. Like I can't recall, but
It
if I were
was
to guess,
1-1, but it was 1-1, but how
I'd say like what, like 80, 82,
their
84.
possession, not pass
Oh,
accuracy.
sorry. Their possession, it could have been around like I don't know, like 55%.
32%. How
Oh,
much do you
so
think their pass accuracy was?
for City,
Yeah,
um, let's go. So if you have 32%, I'm assuming probably like low 80s.
75%.
Ah, look at that. Okay.
This same City team,
Uh-huh.
CJ recalls that game. The same City team, they scored in the ninth minute and they went into their shell. They played a low block the entire game.
Okay.
What you're saying is that we didn't play any good football. As
No,
soon as we got scored,
that's not what I'm saying. Actually, that's
that
not.
that's what you're insinuating. That's what it comes off as. But let me just explain my point. We gave up Cherky's goal. Gabriel should have done better. To go down on one leg when he's coming at you, you got to do better. You got to just stand up. You can't go down and give him that lane. His goal, phenomenal. Yes, you're trying to discredit Havertz's goal. He still had to put on the pressure. He still had to make
I
that
said
run.
that. I did not say anything other than that. I did not say anything other than
Can,
that.
can I finish the point? Is it cool if I finish the point?
No, but you're saying I discredited his goal. No, I did not say
Because
anything
that's
other.
how it's coming off. But I just want to finish. I just want to finish the point. He made that run. Whereas a lot of the times what you've seen and you've said it, haram ball that we're not playing good football. When they have the ball, their keeper, we're laying off. We're getting into our low block. We actually went
Actually, funny enough, no, because usually it's Yacarez that's actually doing what
not to that extent. Not to that extent. I
uh
haven't seen it until since the beginning of the year. I've not seen it to that extent.
I'd say, bro, Yacarez has done his fair share of running on the press. If we're being
He
real,
he has done it, but not to that extent that Havertz is so fresh and like did that. The beginning of the season, 100%. Gyökeres was on top of the keeper every time he got the ball. Besides the point, when we went to the second half, everyone's expectation was that we're gonna go into the low block, we're gonna play for a draw. The reason why they scored against the run of play is because we were actually playing, quote unquote, playing, even though we're still playing if we're in a low block. City did not play the. You're going by the possession stats. You're going with what
Yo, I
Google
don't know
says.
why we're talking about this
Like,
possession stuff. That's what I don't understand. Like, let's talk about clear cut chances that created. And I
like
would from halftime until Holland scored, we fashioned the best chances of the second half to that point, right? Clear cut GA talking about actual goal scoring opportunities. Yeah, maybe they had more of the ball, and maybe they were like they looked dangerous in certain areas, and maybe they were playing more of the ball in our third. But clear cut chances when it was 1-1 before Holland scored, we had two clear cut chances that should have made it 2-1. Havertz one
okay,
on one, and that he fluffed his lines again, and Eze. Those were the two best chances from halftime up until Holland scored. Do you see what I'm saying? So
okay,
this
but
is where I don't
it's still like
understand.
it still accounts for a small portion of the entire 90. Is That's my point? Is you guys were not in control of this game. That's like
I mean,
Control, but like
Opta
that's
says it
that
completely
is
opposite from
But
what
what,
you're saying.
but even like,
that's
why do we need to be in control of the game? You know how many times Arsenal has had control of games this season and haven't won and looked poor? Like that's the whole essence around Arsenal at the moment. Oh yeah, have your control,
well
have your possession, but you're
no
not
no
doing anything with it. You know what I mean? Like so control,
I
I
no
don't
no no
care. Let them have more possession in the game. You know what I mean? I didn't care
uh
about that.
listen
What
listen
the
listen
hell? They're at home. Then the incentive
listen
is for them to win. Of course, if they have more possession, that's
bro,
not the biggest L of the day.
incentive for them to win. There's incentive for you guys to win as well, like
So who had
just
more
as much.
incentive to win the game, Laurent? Be honest.
Bro, I'd say shit, my guy. If you're asking me this question, bro, I'm actually concerned. You
It's
guys,
it's an honest assessment. Who
it,
needed to win
it,
the game more?
you know, if I think you guys did. You
Well,
guys
you
did.
know, now you're lying to
No,
yourself.
no, 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 no,
What?
no, no,
Come on.
no, nope.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
wait, hold on. If your coach, right, if now, right, just to use as proof against your point that you're trying to make, Your coach came on a presser, said what he said, right? We're not just gonna like sugarcoat that or bypass that. Your coach said what he said on that presser, right? We're on fire, we're pumped, we're excited, this and that. You guys know the words. You guys can go listen to all that. Some of your players spoke out against the narratives that were being thrown out, right? Given that, your reaction of your manager, who represents essentially your club, you guys had every incentive and more to win this game. You guys know what's at
We know
stake.
that.
All
We
right,
know
so
that.
don't be
That's not.
asking.
But
Don't
the
wait, wait. So
question
don't.
is,
So
who
no, no.
needed to win the game more? The
You
logical
guys.
answer. No, bro,
You
that's
guys.
a complete negative.
You guys,
A team
bro.
who is 9 points behind the team
You
in first
guys.
place needs to win the game more than the
You
team that's in
guys.
first
You
place. What are
guys.
you talking about, bro? Come
That's the
on,
reason.
bro.
And
Like,
that's the reason why you guys lost today,
no, it's
because you
not. But
allowed
like this guy's, come
you
on,
allowed
Oh
bro.
another
my
team. No.
god.
That's the reason why
Like,
you
think
guys
about
lost today.
logically what you just said out loud. The
I
team that's in
let's.
second place is 9 points behind the team in first. The first place team needs to win that game more.
And
Come
see,
on,
and
bro.
then hold on,
Laurent,
hold
And
on,
then
hold on,
I'm
hold on,
and
hold on,
then
hold on.
I'm
No.
bipolar and
Hold
I'm
on, hold on,
spitting
hold
that
on,
makes
random
hold on,
zero
hold
facts.
on,
sense.
hold
What
Oh
you're
on.
saying,
my
that makes
Hold on,
zero
days.
sense.
TJ. Hold on, TJ. I don't listen. I don't even disagree with the logic you're spewing, because the logic you're spewing is actually in fact correct, right? If you're just looking purely from a logical perspective, but I'm talking what happens beyond the logic, right? When a father runs in front of a moving train to push his son out, you see what I'm saying? Like when you're trying to sacrifice your own well-being for someone else, right? The thing that goes beyond logic. That's what I'm referring to here, right? So given that, knowing where you guys stand in the scheme of everything, bro, you guys should have had mentally the greater incentive to win. There should have been, for your players, there should have been no way that we step out of that field, giving them the 3 points.
Yeah, of
Giving them
course,
the three
yeah.
points.
That would have been the mentality, yes.
All right. So
And we lost on the
and
day.
you lost, and you lost. And fairly enough, right? Fair enough. Again, they played well. You bro, you look at the phases of the game. You guys are getting the ball, and when you see this, right? You see this against, if you guys were to play a lower opposition team, you would see this too. Why? Because for one, the nerves aren't settled for some
Yes,
for
but
some
Laurent,
teams.
the stats doesn't back up what you're saying.
Bro, we're looking. There's, you do realize when, okay, if you're analyzing things purely off stats as
That's
well.
what you. That's
No,
where
no,
you
no, no,
start
no,
your
no, no,
argument.
no. I'm using stats, right? And then I'm actually dissecting what happens in the game, bro. Right? That's the difference. Where you like to just go purely off stats, right? I did not do
No,
that. I did
no,
not
I
say.
did not.
So
I
hold
did
on.
not
I
go
did not.
purely off
No, no,
stats.
no, no, no.
When you
Hold
brought
on.
up the stats point, I literally said this was Arsenal's the way that they played
But you brought a
was
game from that happened to support to prove any point. You brought a game that happened. God knows
not, no,
when.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about before when you brought up stats. I literally said the first banter that we had. I said this was Arsenal's best game in the sense that they actually came out and they played not haram ball and they played very offensive. When you kept
Yeah, you
going
guys.
on about stats, that's when I went to the September game. But you keep going on about stats and that we keep losing possession and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, no,
The
but you
stats
guys,
do not indicate that.
bro, you guys did that whole going out of your shell and playing, right? You guys did that midway to the second half, and you guys amped it up even more because again, for as far as I'm concerned, no one has brought up any clear-cut chances from the first half. None of you have any clear-cut chances that you guys talked about.
What outside of Turkey's chance? What was another clear-cut chance that you saw from Man City?
Bro, the one where, are you crazy? The one where they hit the post and then Raya, right? Like Gabriel, it hit his arm, it hit the post, and then Raya managed to save it off of
So
off the
that's a
line.
clear-cut chance because Gabriel blocked it.
Yeah, it hit the post, and if your keeper's not there, probably that ball's going in. Wait, are we? Yo, CJ, do you not remember
Yes,
that
that's a
happening?
chance. Yeah, I remember it. Yeah,
All
that's
right,
a chance.
bless. All right, bless. So we're agreeing that that's a chance, right? And that's what is that created from? From players looking to penetrate in the box, right? Moving the ball quickly and then getting a shot off target. That's a chance, right? That's what we're talking about here, right? So again, for you, right? And again, if you have a clear-cut chances from you guys from the first half or from, right, please bring it, right? And I'm being completely objective in this. I'm telling you guys, bro. You see, bro, listen, Murad, I already know your spiel, right? You will not look at any other direction other for where Arsenal's North Star points. That is how you like to assess things. And that is a fact.
That is
That is
not a fact, but
that is
okay.
what
That
bro.
is
That
not a
is
fact, but that's not a problem. I'll take that from you. The person who said that you're going to be Centurion, you discredited Man City's Centurion year. So let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck.
keep it a bug about what?
Let's keep it a buck, saying that I only shoot where Arsenal everything's shooting north. You're the
Mm,
one who discredited Man City Centurion season, and you had the audacity to come on this pod and say that Chelsea was going to be Centurion. So if we're gonna go with all of that, I will literally discredit everything that you say because
again,
you literally started discrediting everything that this Man City team did. So don't even
again.
try to
You
come up with
see,
that narrative
every time
because this is
to
how shambolic you are that your team is in the
listen,
fucking mud
I
and
know,
you just want to twist narratives.
I know it's
We're not going to
uncomfortable.
entertain that.
It's very
What's not
comfortable.
comfortable?
It's the
What's not
position
comfortable is the fact that you're coming for us after spending 2 billion and you're going to be back in the conference league
again,
and we're
again,
talking about Arsenal who's in a title race and you guys will not
again.
be there for another 10, 15 years.
Bro,
Again.
it's
That's how many
always
more players you need. Again and
it's
again and
always the
again
same
and
story.
again and another
It's
slit in the eyebrow and again and again
it's always the
again
same story with you
again
guys. We're in a
again. It's
title
always the
race,
same story with Chelsea again
right? We're in a title race, right?
again. Oh, we're gonna buy a player from Brazil just for him to go to Real Madrid, and then we're gonna buy a Manchester United reject because he's got slits in his eyebrow, and then we're gonna
Bro,
buy a Ukrainian guy because Arsenal wants him,
no one is
and
not.
then he's gonna stop playing soccer again. Another 2 billion. Come
Listen,
on, bro.
no one is
Come on,
denying.
bro.
No
Come
one is
on. Don't
denying.
even,
No one
bro.
is
Come on,
denying that
bro.
Chelsea's right. Chelsea's spending right.
Come
You see,
on,
and
bro.
that's me being
Come
objective
on,
here.
bro.
That's me being
That's not you
down
being
to earth.
objective. That's
No,
that's me
no,
calling
no,
you out, and then you're being
no,
objective. Yeah,
no, my friend,
100%. Is
my
Liam
friend,
Rossini going to be the manager?
my
Is
friend, my
Liam
friend.
Rossini going
Hold
to be
on.
the manager?
Let me address. Let me
Come
right because
on now.
you're coming
Fuck
on
out
right
of here.
you're throwing things at the wall
Come
hoping they
on
stick.
now.
You're throwing
Everything's sticking.
you
Everyone
you
sees right through
you
you. Because, like you
you
said, these are all recorded. All these pods are recorded. Fuck out of here, bro.
hold on.
Again, again. Oh my days.
Bro, listen again.
Oh my
I
days.
understand, bro. I understand you guys are in the hot seat, right? Bro. If we're
I'm
being real,
comfortable. I'm still
no,
at the
you're not.
summit.
No, you're
I'm
not.
still at the summit. Are you
No,
at the
you're not.
summit?
No,
When
you're
was the
not.
last time you were at the
No, you're not.
summit?
Don't lie to yourself.
When was the last time you were at the summit?
That cap is on too tight.
When was the last time you were at the summit?
When you're world champion, you are
When,
at the
wa-
summit, my friend. But
God.
again,
again, we're talking about a preseason trophy again. Oh
again,
my god.
again,
Oh my god.
again,
I can't believe you just said that.
again,
Listeners, viewers, this is the Chelsea fan base. They're
again.
so shameless that all they can talk about is a preseason trophy and a conference league that half the time last year when we asked Laurent, hey, what team are you facing? I don't. That was the response that we got. Come on now, bro. Come on. Don't be like this. You can hate Arsenal, but don't be
Oh,
so shameless and then try to
I hate
say that you're
Arsenal.
being objective.
I
I'm
actually
not
do hate
saying you're
Arsenal.
objective.
I will listen. I do hate Arsenal. I hate everything that you guys stand for, and I actually do hope that at this point you guys do not win anything from this season. That you go trophyless.
Amazing. I
And
love it. I love that energy.
listen. I will make sure to throw my own parade
I
here.
love
With
it. Give me that energy. I love it.
yeah. Well,
I
pause.
love the haters. Give me that
Let's
energy.
pause on that. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, I'll make sure to throw an amazing
Great.
parade. You guys will get the
Love it.
invitation. You know,
I love it.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure
I
you do.
love it. If we don't
You
win
guys,
anything, I guess we're just joining you guys, eh?
I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
What are you
Like,
gonna
you
win?
guys,
What are you gonna win?
no,
What?
I'm saying, hold on, wait. Are you gonna ask me like, or are you gonna allow me to answer? Because I feel like you're just, bro. Like, come on, man.
No, I'm asking you a question. What are you gonna win this
Right,
year?
right. So again, in terms of you guys and what is going to be shambolic if you guys don't win, do you guys really recover from that?
No. But what are you gonna win this year?
Huh?
What do you get? Because I just want to understand when we're
Well,
celebrating on this parade of trophyless season. I just want to ask you. You said that maybe, but what chance do you have to win a trophy? Please enlighten us.
so what did I say? Maybe two.
When I said that we're both gonna celebrate trophyless seasons, and you said, well, maybe for us. What trophy are you gonna win this
I
year?
never said maybe for us. That's one, but two, right?
Yeah,
Two,
this is
two. Hold on. Two. In terms of where Chelsea is at in their trophy chase, we do have the FA Cup that we are still competing in. Um, hey man, listen, right? If I'm being objective, right? If I'm being objective, I think who's our next opponent? I'd have to check, but I think it's a lower tier side, right? Um,
Leeds.
Leeds, right? Yeah, it is.
Wait,
Yeah,
the
actually,
same team, the same Leeds that beat you
yeah,
already?
no, it is. So it's not even a lower tier side, but it's a team in a lower position than ours. Um, man, no, man. Listen, objectively speaking, I think that our chances there, right? We have the chance to at least make it to the finals, and then from there, it's wide open, right? But most likely we are going to face City, right? The City that is in hot form, and yeah, we may not be favorites. We may not be favorites, but we sure as hell are giving ourselves a chance, right? If we do manage to get past Leeds. So yeah, that is my honest, objective assessment.
Oh,
Okay.
but you just said we should make it to the finals.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
okay, just
yeah. We
just
should
making sure.
like
Okay.
right, right. So see, I'm being objective, right, and I'm
Hmm.
assessing
Well,
things
the
as
the
they are,
objective thing is, Laurent,
as they
we're in
are.
a semifinal. We also have a very good opportunity to make it to the final, where we will be underdogs against a PSG or Bayern, and we still are ahead of the Premier League table, and we still have an opportunity to win it. So if we're being objective, all the numbers and everything for everything that you said for the past half an hour, if we're being objective and we're playing in this objective box, we still have an
Yeah, but
opportunity
you don't
to.
really in your hearts of hearts, you don't really believe that, bro.
I really don't believe that we can beat a PSG or Bayern. Yes, I agree
No,
with
no,
you
no,
on
no, no,
that.
no. Let's
But
move
with
away from the
with
Champions
with
League. Let's
Premier League,
move away from the.
100%, I still believe.
You don't really believe that, bro. Yeah.
That's fine.
I
You can
I
believe whatever helps you sleep at night.
what
You
I
can
believe
believe.
is when you come on or after the results of some games, right? You let your feelings come out. You talk from the heart, saying it's over.
Oh, so
We're not.
so so moving forward, then I understand what your play is at. Moving forward, when there is a reaction post match, you're going to always use that against the other person. So you're one of those people that likes to use any single opportunity whenever there's a comment to use that against someone to create a narrative for yourself. How shameless are you?
It's not. It's
How
not. It's not.
shameless.
It's not about
That's not
shame.
a problem. We're
It's
going to
not
we're
about
going to
shame.
move on from this discussion because you
It's
are
not. It's not about
complete
shame.
waste of time in this 30 minutes that whenever anyone makes a comment post match, you're just going to use it to help your own narrative.
Because
The
I
narrative of this podcast is that yes, we had a gut punch, but the narrative is you are the most shambolic individual in the world because you discredited this same Man City team when CJ and I were saying that they were Centurion and you said we're going to be Centurion. You said that. And because we have a reaction post game, you're going to use that for your narrative. You are the most shameless person I've ever met, my friend. Move forward.
reactions
Let's
with an
move
S,
forward.
with an
Let's
S,
just move forward and talk
with an
about the
S.
game because I'm not going to entertain this bullshit from you anymore. CJ,
Mm.
what a game. What a game. I know I sent you a lot of messages post game, but I know you won't use it against me to fit your narrative. Um, what was your analysis of the game? Was it as shambolic as some others would say, in that there's no belief because it was an immediate reaction post game?
Yeah, well, I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about the game, and I don't know if we properly dissected it from each of our points of view. I mean, from my point of view, I think the main thing that I really have to say around it is just I'm just disappointed again because objectively speaking, from my point of view, like I'm disappointed because again I felt like we put in a performance today of some level, right? And of course you have to take the opposition into account. Like we're playing, Man City, we're playing, regardless of what anyone wants to say, like this is how good and well oiled and well drilled that this side is, right? People are calling this City's off season, and they can still win a domestic treble. Like just take that in. Like that's actually insane to me. Like obviously what Pep and has done with this side over the years, is remarkable. And when he leaves this league, it's Liverpool and maybe Arsenal and whatnot. We're gonna hate them for taking a few trophies off of us, but again, we're talking about one of the goats of the game and of the Premier League era. So we're going up against a juggernaut and a coach and in that team. Um, and I think that's to be respected, to be honest with you. And that's why I what I called for pregame, right, in terms of showing heart, in terms of showing some fight and some grit. I think we showed that, right? And again, we're not playing no dibby dibby team here. Like we're playing Man City, right? We were going toe to toe. We went to their ground and we didn't sit off for 90 minutes, contrary to popular belief. We did not sit off for 90 minutes. We gave it a go. And as I said, right, and I stand by this, we had the chance, we had the best chances of the second half to go up 2-1, right? Before Holland made it 2-1 officially. We had the two best chances. And at the time we missed both, sorry. I was sitting there head in hands because I'm like, oh, on both of those occasions thinking like this was the chance. Like these were the chances, right? When Kai Havertz went through one-on-one and hits it right at the keeper, and then obviously when Eze hits the post, I'm thinking like these were the chances, you know, and you just think in the back of your mind, you're fearful that it's going to come back to haunt us. And again, like
Yeah.
that's what quality is, right? Like Holland, you know, does what Holland does. In my opinion, I'm not going to sit there and call that a lucky goal. Like whatever, we could have defended that better. Nico O'Reilly had all kinds of space in midfield, and we didn't necessarily between Odegaard and Martinelli, right? Nobody decided to pick him up. O'Reilly found pockets of space, and you know, surprise, surprise, O'Reilly makes a difference again in this game. I think he's probably been their player of the season, O'Reilly, because he's popped up in big moments for them, right? And such a young lad, such a young kid. Pep again, the genius of him has made a midfielder into a left back, and but still manages to get the best out of him. You know, like O'Reilly's popping up in midfield positions, and we couldn't keep track of him, just like we couldn't keep track of him in the cup final. You know, he managed to break free, get space, drive up the midfield, and Holland was clinical with the one chance, or not one chance because he did have a couple chances in the game, but that was the real clear cut one, and he made that one count, you know, and this is what happens when you're playing a two, you know, two top level teams are playing each other. I felt for most of that game, the center backs ushered Holland pretty well. You know, it was evenly battled, you know, back and forth, tussling between the striker and the center backs, and well marshaled for most of the game. But that one chance that Holland got, you know, he put his away. Whereas we, you know, we didn't put ours away. And the Havertz one, horrible miss, bad miss. Like I said, not for the first time. We've seen Havertz miss big chances in big games. The Eze one I felt was really, really, really unfortunate. Like he created for himself in that situation. That's something we've been calling for Eze to do for a while, right? To just give us that moment, be that maverick, create something for yourself. He did that off all his own work, let's be honest, you know. And on a curling effort on his left foot, mind you, right? His off foot to get low, to get a shot to you know on his left foot to fashion that opportunity past a goalkeeper of Donnarumma's you know stature, right? Donnarumma is not the hardest guy to beat on the best of times, you know. He's not the
Six,
easiest.
seven.
You know,
He's
6'7"
huge.
foot goalkeeper. You know, he's not the easiest goalkeeper to beat at the best of times. But Eze on his left foot manages to fashion that just past Donnarumma. He wasn't getting near that, right, Donnarumma, and just past him. And so such are the fine margins at football where that could easily go off the inside of the post and go in. You know what I mean? But it literally rolls
Ah,
across the goal. Trust me, bro. Like I'm getting flashbacks of that now thinking about it, and it's just like a head on hands moment, you know, and it hits the post and doesn't go in. Rather, it hits the post, rolls across the goal, and it just goes out for out on the touchline. And you're just thinking, man, like, you know, that's the break that we needed. Truly, that was the break that we needed, right? And we all would have gone ballistic, obviously, if that went in, right? And so that was the second of the two chances that I'm talking about, where from halftime until 65th minute when Holland scored, we had the two best chances to score to go up 2-1, right? And then obviously they get their goal. You know, okay, fair enough. They were always going to get a big chance. You know, they're at home, they need to win. They're always going to get a big chance, and they took theirs. And at that point, you know, we still had chances to level it, and that's all we needed. Again, contrary to popular belief, all we needed, you know, after
it's
that,
a
you know,
goal.
you get one goal and it's a draw, and you walk out of there and you're in a decent position still, 6 points clear, right? So all we needed was to get one after that, and then, like I said, Gabriel hits the post off a corner kick, and
That
then you're
Odegaard chance?
the
Why are you
Odegaard chance.
passing the ball?
Which one?
When Odegaard was through and he laid it off to Havertz?
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one I
Yeah.
was referring to. And
Why
Havertz
are
hits it
you
right at the keeper,
passing the fucking ball? Put your foot through it.
and that's when it was one, right? That's the one that you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah,
Put your
yeah,
fucking foot through it.
yeah,
What like I don't understand. Put your foot through it. The other
yeah.
question is when Havertz was running with Kusanov, how is that not a foul?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
it's debatable. Honestly, it's debatable that for me was it could have been a red card. It could have been a sending off. But I also think Gabriel's lucky not to have been sent off, if I'm being honest with you.
yeah.
So I think that's where it levels out. And yeah, the last kind of big thing I wanted to talk about was obviously the Havertz miss in the 90th minute, right? And this is what I mean about Havertz, you know, for all the good work that he does, this is not the first time he's missed big clear-cut chances for us, right? In the Cup final, Carabao Cup final, the one and only chance I think we had in that game in the first half, in the first 5 minutes, Havertz has a chance again. Donnarumma one-on-one, not Donnarumma, it was Trafford at the time, hits it right at Trafford. That was our only clear-cut chance of that game, right? If you remember, Murad, 5 minutes of the first half in the
Yep.
Cup final. And then you go back to last season, right? Misses in the Carabao Cup against Newcastle, misses against Man United in the FA Cup last season. Like Havertz, for all the good work that he does tend to miss really big chances. And, he's not the most ruthless and clinical of finishers. Funny enough, the work that he did to actually score in this game was harder than the ones that he missed. All that pressing, that hard work to get in front of the keeper to block Donnarumma and put it in the net. That was much harder to do
That's the
than
story
that
of
header.
Arsenal, though. Make it
It
hard
is.
for yourself. Like, don't score the easy ones, but
Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly it. And then in the 90th minute, that the ball in from Trossard, like you couldn't have asked for a better ball in. It had the right trajectory, it had the right pace on the ball. And Havertz, you're 6'4", you're wide open in the box. You keep that down and put that either side of the keeper. It's 2-2. You know what I mean? And he puts it over the bar. And again, it's
or
not the
just
first
get it,
time.
like, just get it on net at a bare minimum.
Yeah. And at that point, if you get it on net, it's probably in the back of the net because of the proximity to goal, because of the pace on it. And like I said, man, it's not the first time Havertz has missed an opportunity like that. And yeah, like, they had their chances, as Laurent mentioned as well, they did have their chances. Like they hit the post, Holland had a couple chances, and we had our chances. But in the end, they were that bit more clinical than we were. And that's how the story of the game. And like I said, in this game in isolation, I can leave with some sort of, you know, gratitude, and not gratitude is the wrong word, but pride that we fought. We didn't just rest on our laurels the way that people thought we were going to, and we didn't get battered the way that people thought that we would. We did give it a go. Wasn't good enough on the day. But my bigger issue, obviously, Murdad and Laurent and anybody watching, my bigger issue is not with this game. And I had a crash out moment. I was upset, right? I dropped that grenade on social media and walked away when I messaged when I put on my Instagram. I said, people, the Arteta fanboys, the Arteta lovers, you need to talk to me about your guy because we're about to go 0-4, right? That was my moment of passionate little rants. I dropped that grenade on social media and just walk away, because at this point I promised that I was going to be patient and that I was going to be, just stay calm. But we're in April again, and Arteta in April is a bigger mismatch than pineapple on pizza. You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, whoa, 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 whoa! Time out, time out. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't be
sorry,
dissing
man.
Hawaiian, bro.
For
Hawaiian
those
with some Frank's Red Hot sauce slaps. Don't.
Listen, man, yeah, my fault. For those who like pineapple on pizza and all that stuff, man, it's sorry, but again, you get my point. It's like all this good work that we do up to this point, once April comes around, we prior to that Carabao Cup final, we've lost 2 games all season, and we can recall what those 2 games were, right? We lost to Aston Villa last minute at Villa Park in December, and then we lost to Man U in January. Since the Carabao Cup, so that was 2 games, right? All season up to late March where we played Man
No,
City
no,
in the
no. It was
Carabao
three.
Cup
It was
final.
three because
Was
it
there a
was
third one in there?
Liverpool. Yeah, there was Liverpool in
Liverpool at the
September.
beginning of the season, correct.
Liverpool, Villa, and then
And
United.
United. Thank you for
Yeah,
correcting me.
yeah.
So from August to March, late March, we lost 3 games all season
In all
in
competitions.
all competitions. But late March comes, early April comes around, spring, the spring, summer, and the spring, weather's in the air, the sun is coming out. This is where we crumble. So we went from going from August to late March, losing 3 goals all season in all competitions, to now, again, late March, Carabao Cup final, Man City 2-0 loss. Southampton 2-1 loss. Sporting Lisbon 1-0 won. We won, fair enough. Bournemouth 2-1 loss. Sporting 0-0. Man City now 2-1 loss. So that's 4 losses in the space of a month already after not only losing 3 games in all competitions all season long. So for whatever reason, when crunch time hits, something just happens to us, and it again, the haters, Laurent, everybody that will rightfully try and come for us and banter Arsenal and talk their shit. It is hard for the most optimistic of people to justify this. And we should never, and my point to end all this is that we should never have put ourselves in a position where Man City at the Etihad is the title decider now. Why? Because we were points clear. Man City should have been out of sight. We were points clear, 9 points. We had a chance to make it 12 points last weekend against Bournemouth before Man City even kicked the ball. And now all of a sudden, that gap is now 3. And by Wednesday night, we can be and probably will be second in the league because City will slap Burnley all over the place. They'll go top of the league, and all of a sudden, after being leading the league for 90% of the season, we're going to find ourselves in second place in late April again. And my beef is that it should never have come down to today to be the title decider. It should never have, that should never happen. We should have done our work. We should have beaten Bournemouth. We should not have dropped points to Wolves 2-0 up away from home against the last place team's Wolves to come back and let that game ends 2-2, right? These
Forest.
games where we shot Forest, these games where we shoot ourselves in the foot. And therefore, it comes to City on Judgment Day. This game should not have it should have been irrelevant in terms of the title race, right? It should not have mattered. We should have still been comfortable and said, it's still in our hands, regardless of what happened today. But we put ourselves in a position where now it's no longer in our hands. And that is my beef and that is my problem. And that you just cannot simply overlook. And I feel bad for the people, like you once upon a time, Murder. I feel bad for people that have tried to defend the manager and tried to defend the team and the club. But it gets to the point where you cannot like justify if we don't win, if we simply do not win, you cannot justify this. It's you cannot sit here to be the first manager in history to go 0 for 4 and carry on. You can't. It's
Well,
business. It's a result
that's
of
what we
business.
said. That's what I said last pod. I said even because Laurent has like he's like if he wins one of them, would you want to keep him? I said no because this is the difference between Pep and Arteta. Pep rests his players when it's September, October, November, and then when it comes to the crunch time, everyone's healthy. Whereas Arsenal and Arteta do the exact opposite. Run the players into the ground, and then when it comes to the crunch time, he doesn't have players.
And
That's
it's,
it.
and it's like, why does this happen? It's like last week, like these are the games we're looking at. Bournemouth, just get a point. If you get a point last week, it's still in our hands if we lose today, right?
Yep,
It's still in our hands. If we get
four
1 point,
points.
one extra point on the board, it's still in our hands. But now, like I said, City are 3 points behind us now. And if they win on Wednesday, which they will, they'll be level and they'll have a better goal difference. And therefore, they'll go top of the league. If we got 1 point against Bournemouth last week, we're still top of the league. But to lose to Bournemouth in April, again, we would never. Could you think we would ever lose to Bournemouth, in a sunny day in September or October at home and when the pressure is not on? We would win that game. But for some reason, like Aston Villa 2 years ago, if you remember, like these other
Yep.
games, Southampton, when it comes to April and it comes to pressure, we completely bottle it. And that Bournemouth game for me is inexcusable. Why? Because we didn't only just lose, we did not play well. Whereas contrary to today, we actually played well, right? We can agree and we gave it a go today. Bournemouth, we deserved to lose last week. A lie? Like
Mm-hmm.
they came to our ground and they bopped us off the park last week. We did not
Yep.
look like a team that was in a title race. So you lose at
Bournemouth
home.
did. Bournemouth looked like
Yeah.
they were in a title race.
And that's the kind of stuff for me that is inexcusable. So when you drop points to Bournemouth at home, when you drop points to Wolves, when you're 2-0 up against bottom of the league, that therefore means you have to go to the Etihad and get a result. So losing it's not a disaster to lose to Man City at the Etihad, but the position that we had put ourselves in prior to today meant that you needed to get something from today's
Yeah.
game. And that's my beef with all this and where we're at. And that's why I'm pissed and I'm annoyed because it's just another case of here we go again. And you're adding fuel to the fire, to the narrative, right? Because it just doesn't look good. Whether you're Arteta in or out, it does not look good that you're potentially going to bottle the league for the fourth time in a row, something that's never been done before.
Well, we said it before the last international break, right? We're like, okay, these are the games that are coming up. Where can we get the points to make that game not matter? And we didn't. We didn't capitalize on it. And that's the irritating part. And for me, the other piece that I want to touch on, CJ, I don't know if you agree with me on this. When he made his subs, listen. I think Martin Odegaard had a decent game. I think he had a decent game. I think he was the manager on the pitch. I think he was able to dictate a little bit, and you saw how pissed he got for Martinelli not
Yeah.
tracking back O'Reilly's run. Like I get it, but why in that scenario for a player who has not played a lot? Why in that scenario would you take Eze off?
That's my beef. From a tactical managerial standpoint in this game, my beef is that he took our best chance of scoring and fashioning something out of the game. I don't know
Why
why he
wouldn't
took
you
Eze
take
off.
Zubamendi off for Trossard, right? Play a few minutes, play 5-10 minutes with Eze and Odegaard in the midfield. Let Rice sit. You know Nkapie is going to make those runs. You know Mosquera is more defensive. That's why you went with an Eze and Odegaard so that you have a little bit more ball players. Why?
Hmm.
that is like everything else that Arteta did for this game and the players did for this game. I like you said, I can stand behind. Aside from that sub, in my opinion, is what killed the game because
Made no
I
sense.
truly believe if Eze was still on, I think we would have had maybe a few more chances, and I think we would have capitalized because in that scenario, if we're hemming them in, you really could do, and you may disagree with me with this. If you really wanted to, you really could have taken off a mascara for Gyökeres and then drop Declan Rice, play it back three, drop Declan Rice right in front of them, so they make up the four because you know Declan Rice can make up that play, and then you go for it. Or if you really don't want to do that, you take Odegaard off and you put Gyökeres on because Eze is more in the rhythm of the game. He's been playing more. That is my own that is the only beef that I have in this game. Obviously, outside of Gabriel losing his head, right? Like it. I mean, I think Holland was asking for it for the shit that he's been doing since last year for making his outrageous comments, and then Turkey doing his stupid shit. Like you're asking to have your ankle broken, and I truly hope one of them snaps their ankle because if you're gonna act like that and be shambles like that, like you deserve your ankles. You deserve what happened to Ekitike to you. Straight up, straight up. You deserve what happened to Ekitike, and Holland's gonna get it. One of these days he's gonna do it to the wrong person. He's gonna get it. But Gabriel in that moment, that's when we lost the game. Not at full time because we still had chances. We still had chances, and that substitution for me got it wrong. Got it completely wrong. Like you took the flow out of the game. I don't know, man. I don't know. And I hate to say this. I hate to say this. Bernardo Silva, I hate him so much. He is the reason why they won that game. I hate to say it so much. Outmuscling Havertz, clearing the ball in their box, some of the possession play. You saw it at the Liverpool game. You saw it at the Chelsea game. Bernardo Silva is the reason why if City go on to win this title, it, yes, I know Holland's been the one scoring the goals. Yes, I know, like, sure, the stats may, I know some people are going to come for me and say, oh, the stats this, the stats that, I test this, I test that. Bernardo Silva passes all of that. And in a team that they lost Kevin De Bruyne, and, CJ, you and I were talking, we're like, yeah, they don't have the same midfield, blah, 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 blah. Bernardo Silva stepped up when Rodri was in fit. He's the heartbeat of that team. And that game, like he fully deserved man of the match. And listen, I hate Bernardo Silva. He is one of the dirtiest players. But you got to give credit where credit's due. He won that game for them. Laurent, did you want to add anything before we move on?
No, just keep your head up, champs. You'll get it next time.
Oh man. City have 6 games left. We got 5 games left. Like CJ said, City play Wednesday against Burnley. They can go top the Premier League on goal differential. Prior to them playing again, Arsenal play 2 games. Newcastle at home. In between that, they're going to be playing the first leg of the Champions League semifinal at Spain against Atleti, and then play Fulham at home. There is still a world in which we could be up after those 2 games when City go to Everton away, which is not an easy ground to go to, and Liverpool saw that today. It's not an easy ground to go to. Liverpool didn't deserve to get points in that game today. So There is still a chance. After that, we play West Ham away. They play Brentford at home. We play Burnley at home after that. They play Bournemouth away. We finish the season with Palace away, and City finish the season with Palace at home and Villa at home on the final day of the season. Now, looking at Opta's projection for the Premier League, this we going into this game, we had an 80% chance, 80, 84 or 80, 83 or 84% chance, and City at 17% chance. And that dropped for us to 74% chance, and City came up to 26% chance at winning the Premier League. Now, I want to ask you both, looking at the next fixtures for both teams, and I'll repeat it again. So Arsenal's next few fixtures, just Premier League alone, we have Newcastle at home, Fulham at home, West Ham away, Burnley at home, and finish the season with Palace away. City's fixtures: Burnley away, Everton away, Brentford at home, Bournemouth away, Palace at home, and Villa at home for the last game of the season. Looking at those two fixtures, I'll start with you, Laurent. Who, on paper, has the easier run? And who do you think will get more points in the remaining fixtures?
So on paper, and I actually seen a post in regards to this, but on paper, I think you guys have the easier run actually. In contrast to City, however, I do not think that you guys will get more points than City off these set of games.
So where do you see us dropping points?
Newcastle is um, yeah, like it could happen at Newcastle. West Ham, I think they have something to play for. And Palace for me.
You know Newcastle's coming to Emirates.
Yeah,
Okay. Just just confirming that you know.
yeah. Wasn't Bournemouth at the Emirates as well, or am I? Bournemouth's at the Emirates too, no?
Bournemouth hasn't lost a game since they lost to us in January. So
No,
two completely,
I understand, but was it at the Emirates? Yes or no?
yeah.
Okay, right. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. CJ?
Um, sorry, to the initial question is where we're gonna
Who
drop.
who has an easier run in and who do
Oh,
you think's gonna get more points out of the remaining fixtures?
yeah, first of all, I think we have an easier run of games. Um, because I look at City playing I think three stood out to me. Everton away, I don't know, and not in any order. I don't know what the order is of these three, but these three that stood out to me that they have difficult games with that are remaining for them are Everton away, Brentford home, and Bournemouth away. Those are the three that stand out to me in terms of their
Back to
difficult
back to back.
fixtures. Yeah.
For the 3 weeks in a row.
Villa, I didn't include because if I'm not mistaken, Villa's last game of the season, and Villa is at that game would be at the Etihad, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And Villa could be in a Europa League final. They could, whatever. It depends if they're fighting for Champions League or not at the time. But I think because they're in the Europa League final potentially, and they're going for that. I think by last game of the season it may not be as much of a factor. So, like I said, Everton away, Brentford at home, and Bournemouth away are the games that stand out for me. That could be difficult for City. So I think they have the more difficult run. However, again, like as much as today was a gut punch, the Bournemouth game was really a gut punch for me. I thought we were sort of past the stage of, dropping these kind of points because previous seasons we've done it. And I thought now we were locked in and that, these are the games where we're serious and we're gonna max points. We're gonna go out and show that we want to win this title, right? And when you lose to Bournemouth at home, that was a real sucker punch for me. Because I looked on that game at paper when we did a previous, games breakdown and we looked at the run in. I said that's a 3-point banker on paper, right? Bournemouth at home. So now for me, it doesn't really matter who we play next because the pressure of the title race, we're in late April. Again, all that other stuff doesn't matter how good we are. And it comes down to the psychological and the mental, emotional aspect of it. Um, Yeah, not saying the players are gonna down tools, but me as a fan, I feel deflated. I feel like, this is a gut punch for sure. And I'm not necessarily, whilst we have the easier run on paper, I'm not necessarily sure that we'll max out our games because that's what needs to happen at this point. Let's be honest. We need to win all our games. I think, we need to win all of our games. And you can see us dropping points out of Newcastle at home. You can see that. You can see us dropping points against West Ham away because West Ham is fighting against relegation.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that. You know what I mean? I'm just not confident as much as I used to be. You asked me this in September, October, November, December when there's way less pressure and we were playing the way we were playing. Yeah, man, Arsenal's winning. Put me down for 3 points for Arsenal in almost every game. But now, like I said, it doesn't matter who we're playing. In late April, it's a different kind of story. It's a different kind of pressure. And the next game for me could be the hardest game, regardless of who we're playing. It's just of what we're fighting for and what's in the back of our mind and knowing what City has done to us to overtake us and put all that in the back of our mind makes me fearful for every Premier League game going forward, to be honest with you. And so, yeah, man, I'm not as confident, to be honest with you. And it's sad to say it. I feel deflated about it, but I'm just being my honest truths is I felt like today was definitely a gut punch on top of the previous gut punch of the Bournemouth game, and it's looking dark for us, to be honest with you. So I hope we can do it. Again, you're the give me the optimistic side that I need to lift the spirits. Maybe tomorrow I feel different, but as of right now, I have to say it's not looking good for us, in my opinion. In terms of, because again, what we need to do is go 5 for 5. I don't see us going for 5 for 5. Maybe some will say we don't see City going 5 for 5 either.
They
Um,
will not.
hmm.
They will not.
Or 6 for 6, I should say, because they have
Yeah.
6 games, right?
They won't. They're going to drop more points than we will. Where I see us dropping points is I think you're going to get a reaction and Newcastle coming to us, they come at a time where they're in shambles too. They're not in good form. The Fulham game is going to be tricky. Another London derby. And they have something to play for as well. Like they're looking to stay relevant in London. I still think that we'll get it done, but that game's going to be tricky. Because with the way that the table is like playing out, there's an opportunity that if Aston Villa win the Europa League,
Mm.
then top six is technically Champions League because Villa will go in automatically. So
Hmm.
then the next spot, and then seven would be Europa, and then eight would be Conference League. So with the way that the table is, with Fulham on 45 points, depending on what the result comes up next weekend, that game may be critical for them to have an opportunity to play in Europe next year, right? So that game's going to be tricky. Yes, the West Ham game, West Ham's always going to be difficult. They're battling relegation, but with the way that Spurs are playing, like if Spurs don't pick up a point next weekend, it might just be done. Because if West Ham pick up any points and Spurs do not pick up a point, like it's over. It pretty much is over. So I don't think the West Ham game is going to be difficult.
Oh,
I
really?
think like that's just my personal assessment. I think it's going to be the Fulham game that's going to concern us, and I think it's going to be the Palace away, the last game of the season, right?
Mm.
Like I think it's going to be, they're going to try to do a sending off for oh my God, what's his name? What's their manager's name again?
Glasner?
Yeah, Oliver Glasner. I think that's going to be a sending off for him. Arteta somehow has found form again after the fans hated him. Right now, he's playing well. And then for City, looking at it, like Burnley, I think they're going to beat them. I think they're going to be in first place entering next weekend. Um, Everton away, Liverpool just saw how difficult Everton away is, and Everton are playing well, and they have something to play for. They're on 47 points, right? Like depending on how the results go next weekend, they could be pushing the likes of Chelsea, who are in shambles, who lost four on the bounce. They could be pushing them for a European spot, right? So the way that the table is falling, that's one team. Then again, to your point, the next game, Brentford at home. Yes, they're at the Etihad, but Brentford's in a European spot. They've had five draws in a row, right? Like they're in good form, and they want to hold that. They want to hold that spot. And then after that, they go to Bournemouth at the Vitality. Again, Bournemouth have something to play for. Bournemouth are tied on points currently with Chelsea and Brentford on 48. Only one of those teams is in poor form, and that's the big team in the west side of London, right? That's in shit form. And then after that, you got Palace midweek, and then you finish the year with Villa. I'm under the impression that I know what you said about Villa being in a Europa final and stuff like that, but there is a monetary incentive for Villa because the higher you finish in the league, more you get more money.
Mhm.
So if it comes down to the last game of the season and if they win somehow, like if the way that the points go with that, if they win, they can finish in third versus fourth and they can drop Manchester United, there is going to be a monetary incentive for them, and I can see them actually going for it, even though if they have a Europa final, right? Because again, Villa are teetering on that FFP. So if there's an opportunity for them to get 10, 20 mil more, they're going to want to go for it. And I think the board is going to tell Unai Emery, we need this, right? On top of the fact that if they're in a Europa League final, and we're assuming that they're going to make it to the final. If they don't make it to the final, then that changes the game because they're facing, if I'm not mistaken, Forest,
Mhm.
right? So like, it, there's still a lot of moving parts, in my opinion. Um,
There is for sure.
and
There
I
is.
don't think both teams will get max points. And if I'm being honest, I think Arsenal get one or two more points than City. That's just the way I see it.
I'm just so frustrated because we shouldn't be in this position, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't even be in this position, bro. Like that's the annoying thing.
And that's the funny part when Laurent's trying to like banter and say all this stuff. This is the same guy that when in December and January when you and I were sitting on the pod being like, "Oh, we just lost an opportunity to go up 12, blah blah blah." He was the one being like, "Oh, you guys are still up 9. You guys are still up this. You guys are still up that." And we're like, "No. Like we lost the opportunity then. We lost the opportunity Villa. Even if we just finished it as a draw, we wouldn't be in this position. That United game. Even if it was a draw, we wouldn't be in this position. The Forest game, like, why go to the City ground in that weekend? Remember, City lost that weekend.
Yeah. It goes to Man U. They lost in the derby.
Yeah.
Quick question for you both. You guys think that this is gonna go down to the final day and could be one off goal difference, or you think somebody's gonna win it before goal difference? Like how do you guys see it playing out?
Despite that being a possibility, I do not think it goes down to the wire. Your main issue now is the fact that you guys still have Champions League. I don't even think that was factored into the equation when assessing the next run of games because I think for your Fulham or is it West Ham? But I know Newcastle, those games are
Fix your
three
mic a
days
bit, yo.
apart.
Your
Oh,
mic a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
those games are 3 days apart from your Champions League fixtures. So that can definitely play a part in that, right?
But
Also
we're
the fact,
home. That game that you're talking about, so like Newcastle to Fulham, we're traveling. That one you're right. But then Fulham to West Ham, we're home.
yeah, but what I'm factoring is there's rotation of players, and even you don't know. Like usually with these semifinals, high intensity, you could be looking at injuries in certain cases. God forbid. But yeah, man. I mean, there's still a lot to happen, but I do think those two Champions League games could come in to factor in somehow in terms of your form going into those games. Whereas again, City, this is pretty much the only thing they have to play for, and the FA Cup.
Hmm.
Yeah, and let's if we're all being real, man. Like again, the big difference for me is the fact that on one end you have a manager who has proven himself numerous times across numerous leagues.
Mm-hmm.
This is not uh, some some sort of experiment, right? That they're running here, true and tested. And in these stages, right? Also given their recent run of form, they look solid from back to middle to front. Even the keeper, right? Albeit that mistake, they look solid. They and I, to me, I do think that the only way that a city drops off a level is if they sustain an injury to a key player at this stage in the game. Um, that to me is the only way I see it because they're hungry for it. They showed it today, and they showed it in the last few games. So yeah,
Hmm.
Bro, you murdered. Like, is it going down to wire and goal difference, or is it going to be one beforehand? Is it going to be one before the last day of the season? What are you thinking?
It's gonna be one before.
Hmm.
It's gonna be one before. And I think the three games that Laurent's saying, Newcastle, Fulham, West Ham, I think it's gonna be one there. Because that's like we're all agreeing that Burnley's gonna get a roll over,
Hmm.
just like the West London team. Burnley's gonna roll over. So it's gonna come down between Newcastle, Fulham, West Ham, and then Everton, Brentford, and Bournemouth. That's where it's gonna be won or lost. So for me, you know, advantage us because we have two home games, they have two away games, and they all three of their the teams that they're facing are at the top end of the table, right? So yeah, for me, I think it's gonna be one before. Um, just quickly before we move on, before we wrap things up and move on to the predictions leaderboard, because we do have a few games that we're gonna predict midweek. Mr. Piana, 1-0 loss.
Oh yeah, you gotta take it on the chin. Definitely not the result.
Not for the first time. Eh?
Hey man, listen. Again, Chelsea FC, right? I bleed blue, for those wondering.
Dark,
And
dark, dark, the darker shade of blue. Contrary to
for
popular belief, not the light blue that he bleached his jersey to earlier today, to support Man City.
right, right, right. But yeah, no, listen. Funny enough, I mean, when you look at the stats, 20 shots, 60% possession, but it did not mean much for us, right? Man U did find it hard to play. Uh, their chances were far in between. However, on our end, right, with all that possession, the wingers, Esteval injured early on, subbed off, and then a Garnacho on the left hand side that has the inability to produce. So, there's not much you can do with that. If I'm being completely honest, right? Listen, I don't I don't think with this lineup or with that set of players, and I think we had the job Pedro didn't play. I don't think Luis Enrique does much with these players. So, um,
I beg to differ, but okay.
hey man, you tell me how you would get Garnacho to play. You tell me, man.
I probably wouldn't have brought him on.
So then who do you pull on?
And when that happened, I would have brought on Andre Santos and pushed up Enzo Fernandez.
Enzo Fernandez on the wing?
I would have put Palmer at right wing and then put Enzo in the 10.
Yeah. I mean,
If you
again,
guys were if you guys were at Old Trafford, I could see like actually no, if you guys were at Old Trafford, I could see you doing the Andre Santos more, but I just don't trust Garnacho at all. I definitely would have brought on you could have even brought on Lavia, right? Put Lavia where Enzo Fernandez was playing and then push up Fernandez.
yeah, no, I think Latvia did come
He
in.
came on later. You're right. He came on later for Enzo, and I know maybe it's because Cole Palmer doesn't like playing the 10, and like he's probably made a comment to Liam Rossini, but once SFL gets injured, how do you get your best players on, and how do you get as much offensive prowess? And for me, Enzo Fernandez being pushed up is better than bringing on a Garnacho because Garnacho hasn't shown anything to anyone.
That is true. Some would say this could be his last game in the Chelsea kit. Um,
His last game should have been the day he was signed.
hey man, listen, at Chelsea FC, we're all about giving players chances, man. You
What
know,
do you what did you think about Mason Mount shushing the bridge crowd?
nah, I don't play too much into that. Every player has their story with the clubs, right? If you felt like that's what you needed to do, and then so be it. But other than that, I think for kudos to Man U, right? They had one chance, clinical chance, they took it. And yeah, they managed to see the game out. So I think they deserve the win on that. But we'll be
So,
back. We'll be back.
real question. Let's play in this hypothetical that Villa don't win Europa League, Arsenal don't win Champions League because I know 100% you don't think Arsenal will win Champions League. So it means that it's going to be the top five teams that make Champions League. Sixth place is going to be Europa. Seventh place is going to be Conference League. Currently, as it stands, unless Liverpool, United, or Villa have a drastic drop off, I do not think that Chelsea is going to get into that position.
Into the fifth place
Yeah.
spot.
7 points.
I mean, we have our game at Liverpool. I know that coming up May 9th. Wow,
Do,
yeah,
my
yeah.
question to you is, are are you guys gonna hold a European spot by come end of season?
For the Champions League,
No, no, just a European spot.
but in general. Mm.
Currently tied with Brentford, Bournemouth, 1 point ahead of Brighton, Everton, 2 points ahead of Sunderland, 3 points ahead of Fulham.
To me, that is contingent on the following. Um, Garnacho not playing. I would even I'd actually even extend that to the lap, if I'm being completely honest, because personally I do not think even given the opportunities he was given, I do not think he has it in him. Um,
Wait,
I
but
do
didn't you say at the beginning of the year that Delap was a good player?
I said he was a good player where he was at, right? And I mean, listen, bro, you got to give players a chance, right? I'm all about giving people chances, right? Even if you're from LinkedIn, even if you're from, God knows where, right? You give a person the opportunity to prove themselves, and then you allow them to, show their true colors. Some like to give people 4 years, 6 years, right?
7 years, maybe.
Right, seven, yeah, exactly, right. But all in all, right, I think we're both in agreement that you got to give people their due time to prove themselves. But in their cases, I do not think that with the opportunities they were given, that they came through. So those two players for me, and if we can get Gittins, I think Gittins is going to be uh, a key piece for me on that left side, because unlike Garnacho, he actually has the ability and the will to take players on, right? Yeah. So if yeah, then I think we do stand a slight chance. But other than that, then no.
Some would say you guys were missing a Madueke
Oh gosh, no. Bro, even him.
or Mikhailo Mudryk.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Mudryk would have been better um than a Garnacho, for being real.
Yeah. Do you think now that the balloon has popped, do you genuinely believe that Liam Rossini is going to be the manager or the coach or whatever you want to call it at the helm at the start of the next season?
Well,
Not contingent on anything. I just want your honest assessment of what you've observed.
funny enough, apparently, there's talks about the athletic coach coming in. I don't know if you guys heard of that.
Yeah,
Simeone?
Simeone. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Personally,
that would be fucking crazy.
I would not want him. I'm not gonna lie.
Why?
Because if he plays the way, I don't want to see that, bro. I do not
You
want to see that.
did you do your homework, by the way? You said
On
last pod you were going to do your homework.
on no, I didn't get a chance to do that.
Okay,
Thanks for reminding me.
so oh, don't worry, professor's always here to remind you. So you're saying you don't want Simeone, yet you had two managers who had the same blueprint as Simeone.
Yeah, no, but again, right? I'm not a fan of that football. That's what you guys
It
keep.
won you a Champions League and multiple Premier Leagues. What are you
Mhm,
smoking?
Listen, I keep telling. I will keep
Oh my.
defending this. I will keep defending this, right? I enjoy the sport to watch quality.
Okay, so hold on.
To,
On that,
to, to,
so
to,
so if you're saying that you won't defend it and that you don't like it, so that anytime that there's an argument about Arsenal bottled this, Arsenal bottled that, and Chelsea have won these trophies, you cannot use Chelsea to defend it because you yourself just said, and
let
this
me
is
do let me
recorded,
do my
you
homework
said
first.
you don't condone that behavior, that type of football. So you
Yeah,
cannot defend Chelsea when they won under Conte, won under Jose,
let,
because that's a game that they played.
It's true.
I'd have to do my homework again, right? Because to assess to the extent, because I know even in those days we had some quality goals. Like it wasn't just the way you guys are trying to make it seem like,
Oh,
oh,
100% it was. Because we've had quality goals.
no, no, I'm talking about like even some quality plays, like some players that you show. It's not haram like you guys try to paint it out to be, right? No, it's not anti-football. Like there is some vigor, there's some life, there was some soul
Wait,
in that.
didn't Chelsea set the record for the least number of goals conceded? How do you do that if you don't play haram ball? Please enlighten me.
I
Without
mean,
even watching the games, please enlighten me.
wait, so you think you'd have to play haram ball to be defensively sound, like to that extent? No, I mean, genuinely, it's a genuine question.
Is that a rhetorical question?
No, no, like you can answer, like
Yes.
you think?
Yes.
Why? Because you're saying it like it doesn't allow your team to be as open. Is that what you're saying?
You
Like
guys
even
played a
if
back five that year.
okay, here's what back five. By the way, back five does not mean haram ball. Let's just get that out of the way. All
I
right.
never said it does. I'm just saying that year you guys played a back five, and the
Right,
way
right,
that
right.
you guys chose to play was haram ball.
Okay, okay. All right. So just so we're unclear, right? Just because you put a five in the back, right? Because listen, when I'm on that FIFA controller, I use the back five formation, and boy, am I techers, bro. So just for
You
those
still gotta
those
collect your trophy, eh?
for what?
For the diaper party. You won the FIFA tournament apparently.
Oh yeah, I swear we wait. Was it me and the? I think it was your brother, no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Nice, nice. How's he doing, by the way? Good.
Oh, he's phenomenal.
Okay, okay, good, good. All right, all right. Well, yeah, man. I'll make sure to pick that up. I didn't know we won actually, but yeah, no, but yeah, I'd have to again check the archives. And if truly what you're saying is right as it was that it was anti-football, then I guess yeah, I can't going forward use that to support winning those cups because again, I stand on it, man. I'm not gonna go. I don't
Okay,
like seeing football played that
fair.
way.
So let's do
You're
this.
not gonna claim the Champions Leagues.
I will not. I will not. Can I claim the Club World Cup? Because we didn't.
Yeah,
We
that
didn't.
was yeah.
Yeah,
You
we
can
we
claim
won
it.
that in style,
Yeah,
bro.
sure.
Y'all
Yeah.
remember that? All right,
Yeah.
bless. So I can.
Preseason. I remember the preseason games. Yeah.
All
Nah,
right, all
I ain't
right.
including no preseason Donald Trump trophy in America, bro. Won that.
Come on, bro. Listen, don't be salty, bro.
Yo, CJ, we won the Audi Cup, right? Does that count? Should we include that in
Yeah.
our
We
trophy
we have a
cabinet?
few. Yeah, we have the Emirates Cup, right?
Yeah, Emirates Cup, Audi Cup. We should include all that. The Japanese Cup. Like dang, we should get going on including that. But okay, Laurent, how about this? Not next pod, the following pod.
Mm.
So next week, as we're recording this on a Sunday, week from today, we want to make sure that you do your homework because we're gonna start the pod by asking you about Chelsea and the Haram ball.
Oh wow, wow.
Because CJ and I know exactly what we're talking about. You, as a Chelsea fan, will not admit, and you're the one who said you guys were so young when Arsenal won last. You were a teenager and you cannot remember the Haram ball
That's
that,
what I'm saying. Like,
like,
never mind
bro,
that, bro. What was your last Champions League, right? The recent one, 2021. I mean, you're a full-blown adult, bro. You don't remember that? Winning a Champions League with you're talking about quality. You guys won the Champions League with a front three of Timo Werner, Mason Mount, and funny enough, Kai Havertz. You know what I mean? And defending for your lives and one off of the break. So, we're not talking about prime Drogba and Lampard and these guys. You know what I mean? So we're not talking about much quality there. You guys won off of a good break and then defended for your lives against Man City themselves, who had more possession and all this stuff. So hey,
more field tilt, more everything.
if I speak,
And
I,
and
lo- I love
and
it to see you guys come out of
CJ,
the
CJ,
woodworks
what
like
was it?
that.
Was it? I think it was a back five, right? It was a back five
yeah.
with
What?
five defenders: Azpilicueta, James, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, Chilwell, and two holding midfielders, Jorginho and Conte. So essentially,
That's elite, eh?
seven,
That's elite coverage. I'm not
seven,
lying.
seven defending players, and we play Harambo. Yo, listeners, viewers, you know who is just they need to they need to get tested for Alzheimer's. Like they need to get tested because this is an embarrassment.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. In regards to your Champions League prospect, I will say this: if Arteta managed to get you guys to play like you guys did in the second half, for that portion, right, when you guys had your spells and whatnot, I think you guys stand a good chance.
No. Mm-mm. Not against Bayern or PSG, straight up.
No, I think because I think that's what's required, right? Because what I'm noticing is you guys have the capabilities to defend, even when right what's it called? Like you commit guys forwards, right? You guys are well drilled enough to neutralize counterattacks, right? Things like that. So I think that's what it comes down to, bro. Like that style of play that you guys were able to produce in that second half, players willing to commit, even Trossard, one touch, right? Gets the pass out wide. I think it was from Rice. One touch, crosses that ball in, Havertz, header. That's it. You see what I'm saying? Like that, it's pinpoint. You're to the point. You're looking to get to an objective, and I think that's what is going to be required to even right surprise teams. Because again, you don't allow teams to set, right? You don't want to allow that to give yourselves a chance to score it. Now it just depends on whether or not your players can be clinical. But
Fair enough.
yeah.
Well, predictions leaderboard still reads the same. You're still at the summit, 86 points. CJ's on your tail at 85, and I'm slipping away at 79 points. We got 3 games this week. Arsenal not playing midweek. So we got Brighton, Chelsea. I'm going for a draw midweek. This is at the Amex. Has nothing to do with Chelsea's recent form. It has everything to do with the fact that the Amex is a difficult ground to go to. Um, so I have a draw for that game.
I have draw as well.
Mr. Piana?
I'm gonna go draw as well.
All right.
Uh,
Bour- if I speak. Bournemouth leads at the Vitality. I got Bournemouth. I think they're gonna open up. They're gonna put a lot of pressure on Chelsea, and Chelsea's gonna drop out of the top 6 spots.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bournemouth as well.
CJ?
Bournemouth at home. Leeds are playing real well at the moment, man. Um, it's a tough one. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go draw on this one. Why not?
Okay.
Hmm.
And then last game that we're gonna predict: Palace, West Ham. It's at Selhurst. I have a draw. I think West Ham go there. I think they score first, and I think Palace crawl their way back and they get a point out of the game.
You said it. Mateta is in form.
Well, he's been playing well when he's come on. From the highlights and from the game that I got to catch a snippet of it, yeah, he's been playing well.
Mm. And West Ham need to win. Actually, I'm just taking that in.
I mean, they don't necessarily need to win. I mean, if they win, they open up a big points gap. Spurs are playing Wolves at the Molineux in the weekend, and the way Spurs are playing right now, with the way that it's Wolves play at the Molineux, like that's a toss up.
And West Ham has a game in hand. I'm just taking that in.
Yeah,
Versus.
this is their game in hand.
Yeah, this is it. They play tomorrow.
Mm,
They play tomorrow.
Yeah, that game is tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
Palace West Ham. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Palace.
CJ.
Unfortunately, I am hmm,
Make sure you don't copy Laurent because he'll come. He'll come for you.
Pause.
um hmm. I'm gonna go Palace as well actually on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pause again because that was a major pause, bro.
you lost me.
I'm so confused.
Because
Okay.
he'll come for you. Are you serious?
Oh, and Merdad said it?
Mm.
Didn't you
So
already called out that pause?
Yeah, I know, and I'm double pausing because that's like heavy it was, you know? Pause.
Yo, it's late, bro. Let's Laurent's got a
let's.
bedtime, man. Let's get this
Yeah, I
out for
know. I was
the
gonna
viewer.
say he's losing his marbles. Episode 100, fiery one, a little bit longer than we wanted it to be, but it
It's good,
called
man.
for it.
It needed to be done, yeah. Needed
Yeah,
to be
it
done.
called for it. Therapy session, banter session, some hate, some spite. Um, we'll still be back. We'll still be back for another one. We'll still talk our shit. We'll still banter. We'll still make the hateful comments. We'll still watch Laurent be hypocritical about everything that he argues and then goes back on what he says at the beginning of the year and then says it's not recorded. We'll still watch Laurent try to utilize things that are said in confidence and try to use it against you. So that's the type of individual that Chelsea fans are. So if you know any Chelsea fans, just be careful around them because they will use everything and anything against you because that's how they cheat their way to the top and that's how they roll. On that bombshell, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified when there's a new video out. We'll be back. We'll be back with confidence. We'll be back listening to all the haters, getting my Arsenal water bottle ready for the bottle season because the only thing we're going to be bottling is bottling champagne for that parade in May. Adios.